Hello, everyone. Today we are here to propose P.E.A.C.E, as also named Project Environmental Action Through Climate Education. We are Margaret, Xin, Lorena, and Jingxin. Starting our presentation by the problem we discovered and defined, which is climate change of global in scope and precedently in scale. Future generations will eventually bear a significant environmental burden, and there's the lack of climate change education, resulting in inability of teachers and educators to inform students about climate change properly.
So our team began to think of ways in which we could combat climate change on a community level that had implications for scalability and potential to create real impact for future climate solutions. The result of which is P.E.A.C.E, which stands for Project Environmental Action Through Climate Education. It is an interdisciplinary education program focused on introducing climate change concepts to young students through media designed by experts across fields. By providing the resources, we believe we will help accelerate the integration of climate change education into schools, which we consider to be both timely and critical. Since the objective of our project is to increase climate literacy among youth today, it should come as no surprise that our key target beneficiary is children. This is because the children today are the future, and the lessons they learn when they are young will impact their decisions and behaviors as they grow older. What we are hoping to cultivate is an awareness and sense of urgency when it comes to the implications of climate change at both a macro and micro level. By introducing climate change concepts to children as young as 6 years old, we believe our project will be the foundation for kids to further develop green skills as they progress through their education. Examples of green skills include problem solving, critical thinking, teamwork, coping with uncertainty, empathy, and negotiation in a climate solution context. We believe these skills will be paramount in building a more sustainable future, a future that will be shaped by the children of today. So looking at the statistics on the screen, we were pleased to discover that most teachers see value in teaching climate change in school. However, more than half of these educators say they do not teach climate change in their own classrooms or even talk to their students about it. We believe our project will directly reduce these challenges that teachers face in climate change education. So by examining the graph, you can see the biggest impediment is that teachers feel that it is not related to the subject I teach. Our media is intended to be cross-curricular and promote interdisciplinary learning. Therefore, teachers will be able to work together to customize their lesson plans according to their subject and grade. Teachers might also feel that the topic of climate change is too upsetting for younger students, but our media will cater to those as young as 6 years old and will focus on messages of awareness and empowerment. And since P.E.A.C.E will be distributed to schools by a third party, it will circumvent the need for educators to be trained experts on climate change, while reflexively also allowing them to gain a greater understanding on the subject as well. And lastly, the digital nature of the program will allow teachers to just simply press play on a device, which reduces the need to purchase additional materials for instruction.
Like Maggie mentioned, the goal of P.E.A.C.E is to develop the tool and provides opportunities for younger generations to learn through an engaging and captivating format, while providing educators access to informed, easy-to-use, interdisciplinary instructional material about climate change. Thinking about how to design our project and make us different from others, our team focused down to 4 foundational components, which are empowerment, local relevance, interdisciplinary, and multimedia. Speaking for empowerment, it is crucial for us to empower language utilized in the programming and recommendations for action to take post-program. We inspired by several successful cases across the globe and realized by introducing climate change in a manner which the students can understand and relate to, for instance, a local resource challenge allows the children to evaluate the challenge and find possible solutions by themselves. Our second component is local relevance, which is also a central component of UNESCO's Education for Sustainable Development program. It states the need for climate change education to be oriented in the local context, by ensuring that students are more encouraged to take action and ownership at a community level rather than viewing climate change this issue as a distant, global, and a new threat. Our third component is the urge to the problem to be interdisciplinary. Climate change is unquestionably interdisciplinary, and by integrating topics not only of the science, geography, but also of history, literature, art, and culture, all which have grown to inform the climate crisis, the experience of the learner will definitely be strengthened. And our last component we propose for the piece design is the multimedia element. We inspired by Rebel Earth films that use films and animations to show children how their actions can have a positive and a cumulative impact on the environment. And the schoolhouse work is another inspiration for us. It uses catchy tones to make educational topics far more captivating to hear and remember. So we believe it is beneficial for us to design and utilize the visual media, illustration, animation, and music to entertain, educate, and empower at the same time.
Now that you have an idea of what the program entails and who it is for, let's narrow in even more. We propose to work with the 26 elementary schools and 12 middle schools in Berkeley County School District as our pilot location for various reasons. First, Berkeley County is located in southeast South Carolina and is concerned for the increasing climate change effects witnessed in their community, like large floods that are leading to water pollution. Additionally, the school district's vision statement is to create a future we dare to imagine and make a positive difference, and encourages values of adaptability, advocacy, and resilience. And finally, there are existing climate change initiatives happening in the surrounding areas, like the Charleston Climate Action Plan and the Green Ribbon School in a neighboring town. These could support our implementation. Now, if you could imagine our team as the facilitators through the 4D process of the pilot testing, let me focus in on the discover and deliver phases. For our discovery phase, our focus is on community engagement. Through the use of town hall meetings and school assemblies, we hope to hear areas of concern and interest from parents, students, local activists to business owners. And through the process of focus groups, we hope to carry out testing of existing educational media and children's attention span. Fast forwarding to the delivery phase, where we will present the pilot material on a website for teachers to use at their own will, we will have to ask ourselves questions like, do we have enough support and influence that teachers are actually using this? And is the website the best platform for this to live on? Or is YouTube, cable television, or streaming service a better option?
So as for scouting and dissemination, so first and easiest way for an educational program to increase in scale and reach more audiences is to be consistent and advance with time and also maintain the quality of course materials. So the longer the program runs, the more possibility teacher and administrators will have to discover and adapt, making the program compatible with the current curriculum and teachers' proficiency. The successful dissemination of educational media program also requires proactive motivation and persistent support from both school and district levels. So with a higher level of support, we can form a larger learning atmosphere and more learning opportunity to generate more expression on environmental education materials. So like create a climate awareness club, summer camps, and other organizations which can free participants from school or home settings, which will liberate the mind of contributors and foster innovative thinking and creativity. And for personal level, we are going to use a more active approach to achieve dissemination is to select several ambassadors who are more likely to not only learn, but also passionately propagate our course. So for measure of success, we're gonna use particular performance indicators and audience-facing surveys as a major measurement of the objectives and outputs of our course. So the key successful indicators will include the number of school reached, how many collaborations we did, how many participants, like how many impressions we generate on social media, like how many students we recruit, and how many activities we hold. And for the survey material for the students and teachers will be used to determine overall effectiveness and impact of P.E.A.C.E. And student and teacher will be asked questions based on their understanding of climate change, environmental related behaviors, and their family engagements. So multiple survey will be used periodically to benchmark their learning experience and help improve the overall course content. And so here's some questions, examples we ask for students, their families, and also teachers.
And now we leave you with this quote by First Lady Tammy Murphy of New Jersey, the first state in the United States to implement climate change education cross-curriculum, and emphasizing the importance of climate change education and action for our future leaders. Thank you.